what's the word I'm looking for?
What are you? The tech savvy?
No, I'm not the tech. The
You're not the tech. You're the non-tech.
I'm here for the content.
How's this? That I became the tech guy.
You were always the tech guy.
Dude, you initially edited.
Yes, but that's just like I just snipped a few things.
Yeah, and not only that, but the snips sucked. No, dude, the snips were fine. I never had a problem with the edits when you edited.
Well, now it's perfect because you do it. And
no,
also,
I have problems with my edit.
No, but also like I wasn't able to do the things that you do in terms of like cleaning up certain sometimes like air quality or like one time when you forgot to turn your like mic back on. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, that's true. I can do that.
You can do that. You like compressing it better. I would compress it, but not sure if I was even doing anything improving it.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, this should be a good compressor.
Is this an insider preamble?
I guess
a little
it
bit
is.
of a radio insider preamble.
Yeah. Oh, those radio days.
Those radio days.
The things we learnt, the things we forgot.
Which, by the way, I'm announcing to not only the listeners, but you.
Yeah. What?
That this isn't the last podcast.
Of course not. There's Big Brother VIP coming out later this year.
Yeah, but there's going to be something else before that.
Oh my gosh.
A farmer wants a wife, baby.
Did you notice they put up an ad for Farmer Wants a Wife under like Mel and Nick, and I thought that was cute. Thought it was perfect.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
smart.
I'm sure it was.
Don't act like it was coincidence.
It was coincidental. But she's a farmer, as we learnt many times across the season.
She's a farmer.
If you can have one personality trait, it's you're a farmer. Are you serious? You want to do Farmer Wants a Wife?
Nah, but
Oh fuck! You do not touch the mute button.
No, not farmer wants a wife, but we want to do something.
Do we?
Mm-hmm.
What do we want to do? Is this? Have you had a production meeting without me?
In my head.
Oh, I thought you had a production meeting with like John and Helen.
No, I got this idea. It's going to be all gay stuff, all queer culture.
Well, I would be the wrong person for that because I'm very out of the loop.
Really?
I'll be like...
Because I'm in it.
Oh, Will and Grace was good. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that was good in the 2000s.
Oh, you're like, as in you were in it for a bit and now you're out of it.
Yeah, it just means like I was hip for a while. I was like, what else was going on? Oh, Ian Thorpe, we all saw that coming.
Really?
No, there was...
I missed that.
I mean, we didn't because we were literal children, but there was news reporters asking him that if he was gay when he was like 17.
You know, that's weird.
Very
But
inappropriate.
You know who I called years before anyone else?
Who?
Dumbledore. Just something about the way he flicked the wrist when he'd cast a spell.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet. This is actually funny. On the US Big Brother, some guy got into an argument about how like Dumbledore shouldn't be allowed to be the headmaster who's gay, and one of the girls was like, "Why?" And he didn't want to say it, but you knew what he was trying to say.
What was he trying to say?
She was like, "Why would that matter?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "You know why? And he was like, "Don't try and bait me into this."
Because he's the headmaster.
Yes. Yes. I don't know what I was trying to like.
Wait, you do get my double entendre, don't you?
Yes.
Thank fuck.
Yes. But
Is that not funny?
Yeah.
It's been done before.
No, but I didn't.
I was one of the first people to do that joke. Swear to God, first person to ever do the headmaster joke.
I got where you were going. But at the same time, I didn't want to like lean into it because it's like you can be a homosexual and you can also teach anything. You could teach adults. You could teach children. But Dumbledore was a gay, apparently, according to J.K. He wasn't trans though, because that would upset J.K. Rowling very, very much. And we love our trans friends.
We love our trans friends.
And fuck Joanne K. Rowling. This
fuck
one
J.K. Rowling?
This went into such a crazy place.
What was I going to lead into?
Also, this is a long preamble.
Something about...
Normally we struggle for a preamble.
Well, I was going to do some gag about, like, if Quidditch was to, like, a male, like, trans athlete was to compete in the female Quidditch league.
Well, Quidditch, I'm pretty sure is a mixed. Is there? Oh, now I'm thinking, was there
mixed Quidditch, or did we only see the Quidditch W? We didn't see Quidditch women's, did we?
No, it was mixed.
It was mixed.
There was women playing. That was at Hogwarts though. But in the fourth Harry Potter film, there was the Quidditch World Cup. I think that might have been the men's league.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure you saw just. I'm gonna go.
The women weren't star attractions, were they?
Maybe there would be like a women's league that they didn't go to.
And we didn't see in the films.
We didn't see in the films,
which is unfortunate.
But at Hogwarts, it was a mixed league because many female characters played Quidditch.
But Hermione didn't.
No, because she's more of the brain over the brawn.
She's the brain over the brawn. Yeah.
Harry was neither.
Man,
Oh, come on.
I loved Harry.
Harry sometimes fucked it up a bit too much.
Harry fucked it up a lot.
Yeah, a bit too much. Sometimes we struggle for a preamble, and that was just like its whole.
I'm going to use all of that.
Wow.
It was all really good.
We need to get into it then.
2 weeks in a row with Harry Potter preamble. Let's do it.
What was it last week?
Harry Potter.
Was it really? What did we talk about?
You did a Ron impersonation.
That wasn't in the preamble. Was that? I thought that was more in the just like the general.
I don't know. All I know is that we should stop talking about what the preamble will be in the preamble and do the fucking podcast.
Sure. Let's kick it away. Welcome to It's Time to Go, a Big Brother Australia podcast. My name is Jayden Shepherd, and for 2 points, I'm nominating my co-host Benjamin Myers.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Ben. You recently...
Fuck yeah, I did.
You turned a year older.
25 years old.
Yeah. You're almost as old as Big Brother's been running.
Oh, yeah.
Almost.
Like 5 years. I think I was 4 or 5
Yeah.
when I first was in the bathtub. And it's it's a famous story in my family of how I was in the bathtub and came out with a towel on and said, what's this?
What's this?
And it was,
What's this?
the housemates getting out of the limousines in the first season of the opening night, and my parents responding with some trash.
Some trash. And then they became hooked.
Fucking every night for the next 7-8 years, we would not miss an episode of that goddamn show.
And here we are now, all these years later, watching a pre-recorded piece of shit.
Maybe that's why at 25, I'm feeling like my life isn't progressing.
Because you watched Big Brother at age like 5, or because we're still doing this right now?
A bit of both. Combo with the two.
I got to finish off my nominations. For 1 point, I'm nominating Sonny Kruger for trying to push people into weddings that they obviously don't want to have.
Fuck. Okay, Sonny Kruger was, as someone who I used to think was a mediocre host, now I'm not going to lie, I think is a really bad host.
Yeah, it was a struggle. Like, I've always thought that, but I never wanted to say it out loud to be respectful.
Yeah.
But it was a mess. Do you think it was just the fact that she's a bit rusty, but she doesn't do the live shows every week?
Maybe. All that I know, we'll get into talking shit about Sonny Kruger immediately because it's something I've wanted to talk about all season. But
we've got plenty of time.
It just never came up.
Sure. Because she's barely on it.
I don't think she gave a shit about this show at all. I really don't. I think she showed up, got her paycheck, read her lines, and fucked off.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, she would have worked. She would have worked every 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
She's in a studio. For all we know, she's in a fucking studio that's nowhere near the house.
She was nowhere near the house, and not only that, but she was so clearly rocking up for half an hour every couple of days. Acting like, she's reading these lines like she was up to date with the show, or like she was watching what was going on, or like she was behind the scenes, behind the mirrors, just watching the housemates doing what they were up to on a day-to-day basis. But in reality, every single line was fed to her by a producer on the spot. Yep. Some of those quick, witty, like, Dan, you've done this, or but Sarah, I saw you do this yesterday, or Jess, I saw you getting up to this, doing this in the pool.
Yeah.
I would have loved at one point one of the housemates to just snap back and be like, oh yeah, I did do that. What else did I do? Like, and just start asking questions.
Or just be like, how the fuck did you know? You're fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Sonia didn't know a fucking thing. Sonia did not give a shit about this show at all. You could tell how disinterested she was. She didn't care or like about the housemates. And then on the stage last night, she's just asking some of the most... Did we learn anything from this? The questions Sonia asked the housemates, and the questions that were answered, do we walk out of last night's finale learning anything, having learned anything that we didn't know from watching the show already? Or was it just reiterations of things that were already just fried into our brain from the last 2 months?
I was literally like zoning in and out. I was watching it mostly by myself. I know you probably would have had the fan with you. I was zoning in and out. Because honestly, yeah, you're right. She was like, SJ, you're old. How did you go being old in the house?
Yeah.
Marley, how do you go representing your family and also doing this for your mum? And you were a nice guy.
And your mum, who is dead, and your dad, who needs the money.
And he's here. Oh, how funny was he? How funny was Marley's dad though? Once
couldn't
Marley had won,
himself. Yeah, couldn't control
so first
himself.
of all, he like hugs him, drags him to the back of the stage, which there would have been a producer in Sonia's ear being like, "Get the back, get the back, get the back." Marley's dad comes back and he's talking about how good it is, and you can just see Sonia being like, Marley, come on,
Yeah.
stop, come on, Marley.
I wanted him to take that shot. I wanted him to grab the mic from Sonia and just look down the barrel of the camera and sign the show out. Just wrap it for the year.
And it wasn't finished yet.
Marley's dad is great, yeah.
Another thing
I can understand why Marley likes his dad.
Yeah, and it's good to like your dad.
Yeah, no, I think we all do.
Yeah, good to like your parents. Another thing is that the show, they did this last year, they did it again. We've got a minute till we're going to close the phone lines. All three of you, tell us why people should vote to you in the next minute. Even though by the time they get the number down, it'll be closed.
It will be fucking closed.
And each of them just kind of going, I really want this. Tried my best. Fuck me.
For a show that was like, this show was pretty good this year, I think we can agree.
Much better.
For a reality TV show, it was... A few things about the finale last night. How the fuck is your finale your worst episode of the series?
And I would say the same for last year. And they can't...
Last year's show was shitter. Last year's finale was much better.
No, I disagree there. This is like the first time we've disagreed in ages. Last year's finale was flat.
But weren't they like prodding for like a little bit of interaction or like a little bit of a spark between the housemates to reignite some beef, to reignite some of the fuel? They were trying to light a bit of a... provide some fuel to the fire.
There was rumours that they had kind of said, there's going to be beef. And in the end, they decided not to go for it.
And that's why when we were talking to Kieran and Alan last year, they said, we thought there were going to be fireworks. There was no fucking fireworks. And we were really disappointed that we came all the way to Sydney for the finale. And it was just like very nice chats. And then we get Katie and Danny coming out and it's like all very friendly and we've seen each other backstage and kissed and made up in a COVID safe way. It's like, this is this the show you wanted to put on for a reality TV show that's meant to be like strongly implementing drama and strategy and people going head to head and clashing? You just want people backstage, let's make sure everyone's just on the same page and let's go out there and put on a nice family-friendly show for the night.
Family-friendly.
You know what's great is, Below Deck? You ever seen Below Deck?
Yes, I've seen a few episodes. That's fucking...
So I haven't like watched it. I've seen it when people in the house are watching it and shit, and it's on. And then I like how at the end of the season, they do the meetup. Even though it's a reunion. Yeah. There's no winner of the show. It's just a bunch of people on a boat running a ship, like running a cruise ship.
But that's what Bravo, the show that runs it, expects drama at those reunions.
So they get a host. Who's the host? It's not Chris. It's not fucking...
Is it Andy Cohen? Does he do Below Deck?
It might be Andy Cohen.
Because he does the Housewives.
It's not motherfucker from...
Bachelor?
No, goddamn Talking Dead, is it?
No.
Chris Hardwick. It's not Chris Hardwick.
He would never do that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I respect Chris
That's
Hardwick.
a different lane. He's doing more like geeky stuff.
Exactly.
And I say geeky as if that's me as well.
But he's like a Chris Hardwick. He's a Chris Hardwick type.
Well, Andy Cohen's probably the Chris Hardwick of the queer world.
What's with you and surprising me with people who are queer today?
No, it's just only because you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, I know.
And then you kind of said he's like a Chris Hardwick, and I was like, oh, perfect. Andy Cohen is considered
He's considered gay.
Well, he is because he not only is he gay, but like since Real Housewives is adored by gay fans, he runs the reunions and he's an executive producer on the show, making him almost like this little gay god.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm not watching Housewives.
That's fair enough.
I'm watching Big Brother and Below Deck.
Okay, Below Deck brings the drama.
Below Dick, or as Andy Cohen would say, blow dick. I fucking really like that, dude.
Yeah, you're enjoying your material tonight.
Yeah, dude. A few solid gay gags from me.
I know. Well, maybe we should be back.
Was I one of the first people to do the headmaster gag for real?
No, you weren't. I just felt really a bit uncomfortable with it.
You didn't like the headmaster gag?
Just because it was reference to Dumbledore.
No, but I want Dumbledore to be the headmaster.
But it's a tricky situation. Anyway, let's continue. Below Deck brings the drama. Big Brother Australia does not. Is there anything they could have changed? Like, what should have they done?
Well, so that's the thing. Like, throughout the fucking last season and this season, during the night by night evictions, Sonya's in there talking to them, trying to spark it, trying to get shit going in the house, trying to always digging deep. What's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I guess so.
I know you. Yeah.
I only know I'll be back. I'm not a big Arnie guy.
You don't have to know Arnie. We should play that video. Anyway.
Sure. I'm not a big Arnie guy.
You don't have to be a big Arnie guy. That's the only Arnie clip I love.
Fair enough.
Were he smoking the Stogie cigar?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay, right.
Is that Terminator?
No, it's just an interview where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes off the fucking rails and just is just loving smoking cigars. He's just discovered cigars and how he's loving shoving it in his wife's face and just taking charge of the house.
I was going to say, is that while he was having the affair with the maid? Or
I don't even know about him having an affair with a maid.
He had children.
Yeah. You know who else had an affair with a maid?
Who?
Bruce Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know about that one.
Didn't know about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do a podcast about Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee, yeah, the truth behind Bruce Lee and who else? Charles Manson. That's what the podcast should be.
Sweet.
We should find out what actually happened with Charles Manson and the Manson family. Was the CIA involved? Were there experiments involving, Johns and, were they doing experiments with acid? They were doing experiments with acid is what was happening.
This is crazy. This podcast is off the rails.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, even if they're not going to bring the drama to the finale, I want at least more of a recap of the season and more of a kind of step-by-step through, like Renata. Like, I don't know, sometimes
Renata was the one person I forgot. Renata
Really?
was the one person I forgot from the series.
Most people, I reckon if you did a quiz of who have you forgotten, most people would have said they've forgotten Michael.
Dude, I didn't forget Michael because Michael stood out to me in a noticeably just weird way.
Oh, really?
Like, he just had a lasting weird impression on me.
I think he was the type of person that was like, wanted to be a big personality but couldn't really push through.
Yeah, was he trying? I mean, you've had to get there, you've had to get through an audition process.
Yeah, but I think they love lots of different types of people. Like, they don't want a million Dannys.
But it's still someone that needs to work on TV. And there's there's a few people from this season where it's like, we've spoken to them and they've been like, I can see how this person has been cast for a fucking reality show. This person's great.
Okay, yeah.
But then when you see their edit and you see him on the show, you're going, who's cast this motherfucker?
Well, then that's down to the edit.
It's down to the edit, yeah.
It's down to the edit. And that's, once again, I don't know if you saw the messages that we got from Alan yesterday, and Alan spoke even about the edit with Marley.
Alan.
Did you
Alan,
not see the messages?
No, I haven't been on the gram.
Fair enough. Alan asked us, and I answered for you, about who we thought was going to win.
Thanks for answering that for me. I did see it, I just didn't want to answer.
And also I thought...
I was busy, man. It was my birthday.
Yeah, and
my birthday.
You said you were staying off social media until you watched it.
I was at a birthday dinner, yeah.
Nice. What'd you eat?
Pizza.
Nice. Was it good? I feel like, is there bad pizza? How often do you have bad pizza?
Yeah, rarely.
Especially restaurant
rarely.
quality. Like, maybe if you go to like
It was a restaurant, yeah.
If you go to like a takeout, like Papa John's or whatever.
Wait, Papa John's.
Or like Big Al's.
What? How is it a topical reference to here?
No, but like Big Al's, Papa John's.
All right, shout out to our US listeners. Our US listeners.
Is that a thing in America, Papa John's?
I've eaten 40 pizzas in the last 30 days. You ever seen that?
No.
Where Papa John's, after he's removed from Papa John's as the head of Papa John's,
Okay.
Which is how you removed from there when your name is Papa John's, because of the racism, because he was saying the N-word in a board meeting like 9 times.
Fuck,
repeatedly
okay.
just saying the N-word.
Yeah. Not good.
Anyway, he's talking about, and he's going this. He's like talking about the new owner. He's going, he should be put in jail. He knows nothing about pizza. and he's sweaty. He's greasy, like dripping from the head with grease. And he's like talking about how he's gone back to Papa John's himself.
Oh, to test it
now,
out.
just as a customer to see the quality of the pizzas. He's going, I've eaten 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and I can tell you they are not up to scratch. It's fucking insanity, man.
Love that for Papa John.
boy.
You had a good birthday though. So Alan mentioned about the edit. Some people are getting shit edits. I don't know where we're going with this. We're getting off the rails.
No, dude, keep going. We're going 3 hours tonight. Yeah.
We're not going 3 hours.
We started 45 late, yeah.
Hey, before we get more onto the end of the show, I feel like we've got to go back to the start of the week.
Okay.
At the final 4. And there wasn't much to Monday night's episode, but I've seen offline there's been some stuff that wasn't included in the show. That Marley made a deal with Ari and Christina.
Whoa!
And he made a deal. It just shows that they don't want to show that because that would be him breaking a deal.
That's his that's him. That's breaking kayfabe. That's him breaking character.
Yeah. So and they need an edit of the good guy, which Marley is.
Sorry, not breaking kayfabe. That's him dropping face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Revealing the facade.
But it's not anyway. Reveal to me how the extent of this deal. That was,
Ari claims that the three of them that before that night said, "Hey, as long as we all win, we'll get rid of SJ, and the three of us will be the final 3." So then Marley wins, and that's why Ari's so pissed off. On top of that, Marley I think said today that he hasn't spoken to Ari since.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know, it's interesting. It's so interesting finding out some of these people are very salty.
Dude,
it's a game.
Marley I feel like Ari probably didn't understand Marley's play. You know what I mean? Like, Probably what Ari's describing is probably him putting Marley in a situation where he made a deal and thought Marley agreed to it when Marley was just sort of like, yeah, no, you've got a point. Because we saw Ari sit Marley down and say, hey, I can see the demographic, like SJ's demographic, the women,
and you were worried about
the
that.
65. I was so worried about a demographic. How many
over 65-year-olds watch this show?
Dude, I think it's a lot based off the demographic I see that's watching like our listening to our podcast.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's listening to this show. Shout out to the over 65s listening to our podcast.
Shout out to them. If you're one of those people, get onto the pod.
Yeah, and fuck you for voting for SJ.
No, I was gonna say get onto the pod. Who did you vote for? I'm really interested. Because if I didn't vote myself, and I didn't do the same last year, but I would have voted for Marley. Only because the options weren't that great. I wasn't super impressed with him.
Well, dude, did you see polling? Sorry, continue.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, that was the end of the sentence. I just didn't put a full stop on it.
Did you see polling on like any of the Facebook groups?
I didn't, but you can't really trust them, can you?
Well, this is just one, like, it's...
How many votes did it have?
It's one poll. Well,
Yeah.
I got it early and there was only like a couple of fucking hundred.
Oh, that's still something. And how swayed was it?
Marley with 500.
Yep.
Guess who's next?
Christina.
Christina with how many? If Marley's got 500?
250.
230.
And then SJ.
And then SJ
100.
with 60.
Oh, okay, lower than I thought.
She got killed. And also, that's a Facebook poll. You know who's on Facebook? Boomers.
Yeah, so then it's even younger people that would be like maybe not on Facebook, maybe they're just on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Or
But
Twitch,
I really
or
thought she was
TikTok.
gonna. I really thought she was gonna take it home. But I
No.
think SJ might have a big following on social media internationally who weren't watching the show, who weren't familiar with Big Brother, didn't give a fuck about Big Brother.
On top of that, there was some people who maybe like enjoyed her on the show, but just felt like you've been voted out twice.
Yeah,
can't
sure,
win.
and that's totally valid. Like, hey, I don't think SJ sucked. Like, I think SJ was fine to watch. Like, I think Christina was fine to watch. I think Marley was fine to watch. Like, I had a good time watching all of them every now and then.
Well, here's the thing. You and me sometimes get different things out of the show. You're sometimes looking just for watchability. I'm sometimes looking for how well did you play the game. And despite SJ being voted out twice, there were things she did and people she aligned with that were good gameplay.
Yeah.
For example, at the start of the game, she was going off at Danny for fucking eating a Tim Tam.
Dude, yeah, what was going on? There was a real shift in.
Well,
like,
she was Team Katie, and that was like the mindset was like, that's your team, that's my team. Fuck them.
That is a great moment from the season. We saw it again last night with Katie.
Yeah.
Was SJ saying to Katie, "But you've not, you've not. Like, I've been there for you. I just feel like you've been lower." The line is, I feel like ever since Jess came in, I've just been lower down in your circle, lower down in your ranks. To which Katie replies with, "But I've always been there for you and I've always checked in on you." And SJ responds with, "But you haven't been there for me." My God, so unnecessary, but great. I'm so grateful she did it. It's so just put Katie in her place. It was almost like that was Katie's moment of like her own facade, her own subconscious facade was revealed to herself.
Yeah. I mean,
And you can see her.
I mean, I still want to defend Katie to a sense. Do it one more time. Ugh.
Yeah?
I still want to defend Katie to a sense because she kind of talks about how she was like struggling in the house and she feel like the pressure was getting to her. So like once again, maybe that she was acting in ways that wasn't necessarily her true self. I get the sense that Danny's the type of person who he works through intimidation.
Yeah.
And if you're not intimidated by him, then he's threatened even more.
Well, guess who else the pressure would get to?
Out of the whole cast?
Yes. Everyone. The whole cast. Don't you think? It's like anyone you drop in that house can pull the card of, hey, the pressure in here is a fucking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but she talks specifically about how, like, Danny was coming after her and then, like, he kind of, like, made her walk on eggshells. And then, like, I get it.
And, dude, Danny last night even said that, how's that bit with him last night? That
What'd he say?
No one was exactly sure where to go with the bit, which was,
What's the bit?
Danny goes, you will need a psychiatrist after you come out of the house because I know I did.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm not joking. And Sonny goes, are you okay? Like, is everything okay now? And he's go, and he like it was like it's the way he worded it, the tonality of it came through as if it was a gag. But then at the end, he sort of starts nodding and is going, no, seriously, we're working through it.
Yeah,
Like was very genuine. And Sonia just didn't know where to go with it, and she sort of. Yeah.
I didn't catch that. As I said, I was like zoning in and out of the finale. I wonder.
Understandable, yeah.
I wonder if that's a sense of like him just in his personal life that it's brought up things, because he did talk about how he misses his kids, but he doesn't have a lot of contact with them. But also the fact that, he was in there for 60 days, and I'm sure there would have been times where he was running over scenarios in his head and working alliances and sometimes maybe having to be like more faker than he would want to be, and maybe that affected him. So,
having to play like that every day, whether you're good at it or not, is just constant.
Yeah. I think some people in this house, some days were having like basically vacation days. Danny was always on the clock.
Always on the go. Yeah, always clocked in. Yeah, that's a
Always
good point.
clocked in. So yeah, totally understand that.
Talking about other runs, like, or other like little planned segments or angles that they had for the finale that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Was you mentioned it earlier, but was Sonia trying to push the Brenton and Christina thing, which
Twitter did not enjoy this.
Yeah, Christina was just from trying to bury the segment immediately.
And it's real. And what she said and what Brenton said was really nice. I enjoyed, like my sister said as well, that like last year it was so awkward between Chad and Sophie, and they had way more of a relationship in the house.
They had, and they were in there for a long time. They were only in there for a few days and kissed a handful of times, and now Sonia's asking about kids and shit.
Well, Christina, it sounds like she did the right thing. That like as Brenton said, like I went out and then every day I kept on waiting and just was like, oh, she's either still in the house or doesn't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
Christina did the right. She didn't have to. She did a lovely thing, I reckon, which kind of gave me a heads up. Was like, hey, I'm leaving tomorrow, but I'd love to see you again. And the realistic thing is, as I've always said with these shows, you're in a house, you've got nothing else to do, and if you find someone attractive and you cuddle with them and you kiss them, it's not necessarily real life. It's like summer camp. And Christina, I think, was smart enough to know, hey, I want to be respectful and let's catch up outside of the cameras, but that doesn't mean we're going to start a relationship.
Oh, dude, like it's like me going out to a bar one night and hooking up with a girl when I'm like really drunk and then forgetting about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like that. And then like a few months later, like me just coming into like an interview and then like an interview and someone being like, hey, remember that girl you hooked up with?
Are you going
like,
to marry her?
How's things? Because she's told me this and this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah. From that one night.
Yeah. It'll almost be like that. Because this was 6 months ago. They were doing this like they were in this house 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's how crazy it is.
So I can totally understand why Christina was trying to kneecap this segment. She was trying to fucking just take the legs out from under this segment from the get-go.
And also to talk about like, I don't know if you want to talk about like how women are perceived on the show or sexism, and we saw it sometimes last year with Sophie that like...
Please.
Please do it. That took up a chunk of time that we were talking about Christina. You know, as much as I was rooting for Marley in the end, Christina still played hard. After Brenton went out, she was targeted a fair bit, and she had to weasel her way out of some situations when she was nominated. Yeah. And she had to win some comps where if she didn't win, she might have gone home. So she played a good game. You know, just as good as Marley's. It just didn't come up off that way on the show. And instead she has to talk about fucking Brenton multiple times.
And I can't stress enough that I really think, like, some people said she didn't deserve her spot because she got voted out, and I disagree with that because she was... I think we spoke about this on the phone last night.
Yeah, she was The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. They were told before that eviction, hey, the next two people to go out will be The Walking Dead. They will not be evicted. Christina was put into The Walking Dead, and she had to re-earn her spot facing Mitchell, who was a fucking gun. It wasn't a physical challenge, though, that being said. But she had to persuade the fucking other housemates to vote for her to come back into the house, and she pulled it. I think she re-earned her spot there. Okay,
it's not as bad as the other ones, but it's still, you literally said she had to re-earn her spot.
Re-earn. That's a good point. I did say re-earn. I wish I could undo that.
A live edit. Yes, the Walking Dead twist wasn't as, you know, bad as like SJ and Mary going to the base. What room was it? The attic?
Not only the attic, but then SJ also being evicted and then getting a luxury suite.
And then getting safe for 2 votes. So it wasn't as rigged as that. But at the same time, I believe that if it wasn't for that twist, she would have been still voted out that night and then fully out of the game.
The Hell Week thing I'm like so sketchy on because it was Hell Week that she went into the executive suite, yeah?
The twist was at the end of the week, lol, this is Hell Week, the person with the most votes becomes the most powerful in the house.
Yeah, but it's like, how is that on theme with Hell Week?
Hell Week would mean, you've just nominated 2 people, they're both going home no matter what. That's Hell Week.
Yeah.
That sounds like hell, doesn't it?
It's so, like something that's actually dark for the rest of the house, not that's fun. Like, like the rest of the house just sort of goes, like SJ and Danny go, fuck yeah, cool. And the rest of the house just go, oh yeah, cool. I guess these people that we've been hanging out with for a while get to stay a little bit longer. Like,
well, not just that, they got to go into the executive suite and have 2 rounds.
And have a
safe.
Nice time.
They got fed. And they had 2 rounds where they couldn't be nominated, and they got to nominate people.
It is not on theme with hell.
No, it was hell for me as the viewer.
Yeah, sure. Okay, all right. Okay, but that's not what they were getting at. That was like their thing of like wouldn't be Hell Week without 2 people going into a luxury suite. Like which makes me think it was always going to fucking SJ no matter what. Which makes me think it was always going to go which makes me think that luxury or the executive suite was not going to be implemented at the end of Hell Week had it not have been SJ.
Yeah, for all we know, that twist could have come into the game the following week, and instead it might have been someone else, and they just would have been like, there's a new twist and you become the executive suite. Might not have been then. As we've said, this show is fucking rigged in certain ways. And I want to see less. I want to see less rigging next year.
Less what?
Less rigging next year.
Yeah, and it needs to be, and you said this in the first season, it's like, if there's going to be someone who goes, like, into this place, or someone gets this advantage or this disadvantage, it needs to be, like, the housemates need to be informed of that in advance before they make decisions. Like, because then it makes us question, as viewers, what is rigged and what isn't, and are they just leaving SJ and Marion because they're the 2 older ones, and that will lose a percentage of their ratings.
I honestly wonder. You hit the nail on the head. This year they had the twist of the Big Brother eye, and that was a legitimate advantage that could not be rigged. It was a competition based. It
was good, yeah.
Daniel won. He got to put 2 other people up, and then they voted for who got the advantage. I want to see more of that next year.
Yeah, sure.
That can't be rigged. You're bringing a twist into the game.
What about a permanent head of house type deal?
Well, I mean, what do you mean by that?
Like, as in what they have in Big Brother US, like a rotating or alternating head of houses based off who's winning the challenges, going into an executive suite and sort of having a bit more of control over the game each week, and
well, I guess like
people know what their advantages are.
In Big Brother America, most times it's like similar. The only difference from going into the room is that they nominate the people, which is what happens here anyway.
What format is this based off? Is it based off Norway or Denmark?
No,
or something?
It's literally like they've just grabbed some of the elements of America and then kept some of their own of Australia and kind of made their own game.
You ever seen Norway or Denmark?
No.
Okay, because I heard it's most heavily inspired by the Norwegian. And
no, that's I'm sure that sounds like bullshit. What? Where'd you hear that from? Huh? Where'd you hear that from?
I don't know. I can't.
I thought
you want my fucking sources now? Fuck you.
No, I swear the original Big Brother.
You can come on here and give me all this shit about bullshit you're reading on the Facebook groups and say, well, this person said this, and I'm not going, yeah, who said that? Because why the fuck should we trust them?
No, okay. I mean, maybe you're right, but at the same time, I
got no idea, man.
The original Big Brother.
Dude, do you want to hang around after this? Get fucking a Zinger box and watch the Norwegian Big Brother?
There's nothing I would love more than the Norwegian Big Brother. Subtitles, please.
The subtitles.
Okay, anyway, moving on forward. Yeah, they've taken some aspects of Big Brother America, but not fully. Another thing I would like to see next year is that the second chance week that they had a couple of weeks ago, where the people that are nominated get a chance to kind of take themselves down.
I'd love that.
And it's like, once again, that's fair. It's not rigged. It's, you've nominated 3 people, and one of you can take yourself down in a comp. So yeah, how are we going for time? I feel like I'm all over the place.
No, a lot of fun. We're going to take a 2-second break.
That's fine.
How long are we on? Fucking 32. Okay. It felt like we'd been going for a lot longer.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
I was checking like battery and fucking...
I guess it was a fair bit of a preamble.
I'm just going to keep that going. Can't do it too sexy.
Sure. No, I'm good.
2 secs. Camera was on 2 battery bars when I started filming,
Yep.
but that should be fine, yeah?
What's it on now?
I can't see.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it won't show me.
Yeah, normally 2 bars, that would be like enough for what we're doing.
I think that'd be...
I would be concerned if it gives you 2 bars and it runs out within an hour.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That-
Should I stop it? I'll stop and check.
No, it's fine. You don't have to.
I'll stop and check just in case, like, it fucking
Sure.
like, oh no, wait, it's still got 2 bars. I can see it now.
Yeah, but I was going to say that would just not make sense. 2 bars running out within an hour.
Sweet. I'll just do a refocus. Running out within 2 bars. Running out within an hour.
That would be crazy. It'd be like an old dead iPhone just kind of like carking it. You know?
Old dead iPhone. Hey, what do you think of this girl's jacket?
It's fine. I mean,
Do you like it?
do
It's
jackets
a bit small on me, isn't
do
it?
jackets have genders? Yeah, it is a bit small, but you can pull it off.
I can pull it off?
Yeah.
Dude, I reckon it looks good on me because it's one of my friends.
Oh yeah.
And she's small. And it fucking, I reckon it looks, not to say it looks better on me than her, but it looks good on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun. It looks good.
I think I'm gonna offer her a few $100 for it.
a few $100. There was no way it cost a few $100 though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Got to mark up the price, or they won't give it to you.
The marketplace. All right. I've thought of a few things left that I definitely wanted to cover. So
We got heaps of time. Oh, there's a fucking lip balm in this, man.
it's got to be Nivea or Paw.
No, I reckon it's gonna be like it's gonna be strawberry something because she fucking. I was gonna say that's be fucking weird if I knew what she smelled for, because then I'd be like making out like I kissed her or something. I didn't kiss her.
Oh, you should.
No, I definitely didn't kiss her. Yeah, it's Burt's Bees strawberry.
If you kiss her, I'll message Sonia, and then Sonia can message you if you're going to get married to her.
What the fuck? That does not smell like strawberry.
Also, the way that like she asked the second time when her mum, Christina's mum was standing next to it, and Christina's mum was like, "I'll be fine with that," and then Christina was like, "Mum, shut up." She was literally like, "Mum, don't encourage her."
Then it was, yeah, exactly. Just fucking drop it. So what was Twitter saying about that shit last
Oh,
night?
that everyone. I made a tweet being like, "Shut the fuck up about the show, man."
Yeah.
And I got a few likes.
If I was in
like-
Sonia's life, a person in Sonia's life,
Yeah.
I'd say shut up. No,
Do you think people in Sonia's life are actually watching the show?
no, fuck no. I don't
Or-
think Sonia's watching the show. I think Sonia would be saying about Big Brother what I say about Big Brother.
Sweet.
Which is,
Yeah.
ask me what it fucking is, dude.
Which is.
Go.
Sorry, I need to be doing more improv. Yes and instead of just yes.
Yes and yes, but no is but however, but yes, I can continue. Then
No,
therefore,
yes and therefore. What do you think of Big Brother?
no,
You wanted me to ask you that.
this is fucking, I don't know, which is what?
I was going to say that Mike fucking Goldman should be hosting the show, not Sonia.
Dude, everyone was saying that, and it's such a good idea.
Because he would be loving it. Like he still loves it, because he does the bro.
But it was
bro
always
show.
a woman.
Well, it doesn't have to be. There's no rules.
It was Kyle Sandlines for a bit, but it was Kyle and
A
Jackie
season.
O.
It was Kyle and Jackie O, but Kyle had a few sick weeks. He had
he did?
He did.
That's great.
And then Mike had to step in.
Mike filled in, and was he good? Of course, he was good.
I'm sure he was good.
He was
We
great.
saw Mike's talents on Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
Friday Night Games. And he also had the one season of Friday Night Download where they just played videos, like they were Funny Home videos.
Like they were funny same videos, but with
Yeah.
YouTube, but with
Yeah.
online videos
And that was the
people
last
hadn't
time-
even sent in. Yeah,
That was the last time we saw Briema.
it was. Yeah. But what was I gonna say about Big Brother? Oh yeah, Sonia Kruger. Let's do this again.
Yeah, let's try again.
Sonia Kruger probably says the same thing to people about Big Brother that I say to people about Big Brother.
Oh, what do you say to people about Big Brother?
Don't bother watching the show because I don't really like the show that much. But what I really enjoy is the podcast I do about Big Brother.
Listen to the podcast.
Sonia says exactly that.
Sometimes-
there are these guys doing this "It's Time to Go" podcast. And,
Sometimes there's people who go, "Wow, that's a trashy show," and I'm not going to listen to the podcast.
yeah. No, I sell it. Like I sell like
Yeah.
hey, like people who aren't convinced of like, isn't that a trashy show? And I'm like, well, if you don't like the show and don't watch the show, you can tune in and guess what?
It's
we
not
talk about
that
this and this
trashy.
and this and this and this as well. So
It's not maths. It's not The Bachelorette.
and I say, well, yeah. And I say, do you like me? And they say, well, yeah, I don't like Big Brother, but I like you. They have to say that.
Yeah.
And I say, well,
I'm
just
50%
listen.
of
And
the
I say,
pod.
well, listen to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to
And
me
mute
talk
out the
about
other
my
guy.
life. And the other selling point I use is I think I gave you a shout out on it last week, and they said, "What'd you say about me?" And I said, "I'm not telling."
You have to listen. You'll have to listen and find out.
And new listener.
Yeah, perfect. And they want to listen to the whole 40 minutes.
And my fucking dude, I literally did that as I left work today. My boss said, "Oh fuck, now I gotta give it a listen."
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Did you have to leave work early? I feel bad when you do that.
No, dude, I like that. No, fuck, he's gonna listen to this now. Oh. I like leaving an hour early. An hour early. And but here's the thing, I always have something, when I leave early, I do always have something to leave for. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, I always have something genuine to leave for. It's just unfortunate that the sun sets at 5, just after 5. It sets at like 5:09, and I finish work at 5. So it's like by the time I get home, the sun's set. And sometimes it's like the thing I may want to do is like I may want to get in sometimes I'll leave. I usually leave early for an hour early for if we're doing this.
Yep.
But sometimes once every now and then I might leave an hour early if it's like I want to get like a run and a swim in, and I don't want to do that when it's dark.
Yes. Dark.
But when he hears this podcast, you know what he's going to say? Get up a fucking hour earlier in the morning. He's going to say, get up earlier in the morning and do it in the morning then. Which is, you know what? Which is, hey, dude, totally fair. And I agree. I'm lazy.
I'm glad I've learnt so much more about your job.
Now I'm really hoping he doesn't hear this.
Yeah. I mean, over the podcast journey, we've heard a fair bit about your multiple different jobs.
Oh, yeah. But dude, you know who's... Oh, well, I was going to say we haven't heard about your multiple different jobs, but then I remembered.
It's fine. No, you can mention them.
No, but I was just going to say, there aren't really multiple different jobs that you've had.
It's been one job.
It's one job.
For the 11 years.
I admire the consistency. You're the relationship guy and I'm the flirting about guy.
I've been single for 26 years.
But am I ready for a relationship?
Yes, you are.
Oh, fuck.
You can be. You can do it. Maybe that'll be the next pod. We'll cover the Bachelorette, but then we'll also find you a relationship.
Let's get off this.
Let's get off it. Okay, a few more things to wrap up. I was going to pose the question driving down, but I think the answer is pretty clear.
Hit me.
If the housemates had to vote for who to win, let's say the last 7 people who were voted out would have to vote to win, do you think Marley would still be the winner? Do you get what I'm saying? Because you got to go in reverse order. So it's
the last how many?
Ari, Danny, Tilly.
So who would be up top? It'll be Tilly, Danny,
Adriana.
Marley. Tilly, Danny, Marley.
No. So it's still the same final 3. And let's say like a group of, as I said, Ari, Danny, Tilly, Adriana. Who else was in there? Sid.
Wait, if they did what?
If they were voting on who to win,
if they were voting,
do you think Marley would have still won?
Because you like the idea of the housemates.
Yes. For voting for a winner.
I know Ari wouldn't have won.
Ari wouldn't have voted for...
No. Oh, yeah, it's the final 3.
It's still the same final 3.
Yeah, I still think Marley would have won.
Yeah, me too.
I think he would have won, yeah.
Whereas last year, we kind of spoke to a few people and Daniel probably would have won. We spoke to a few people. We spoke to like...
Oh, yeah.
Casey,
last season, I thought you were talking about Danny Hayes. Yeah.
No. I think I really would have been interested with a public vote, Danny versus Marley in the public vote. I wonder who would have won.
Yeah, an interesting one, man. What do you reckon?
I reckon it would have been split down the middle.
I reckon it would have been very split.
Super tight, because there's some people who love Danny and some people who hate him. And there's the people who hate Danny who would have just gone, I'll just vote for Marley. Next question. How do you compare this season and last year in terms of the winners? Like, is Marley a better winner than Chad?
Well, as in, do I prefer him?
Both ways.
Was he a more deserving? Look at how look at how jacked I am in this jacket, in this girl's jacket.
Maybe that's why it was a bit too small for you. Did he play a better game than Chad?
As to you're asking me who a more deserving winner is. If the two of them were up against each other.
No, just in general. Like,
yeah, no, I know, but hypothetically, let's say they were up against each other, or they were in the same season.
I mean, but once again, it's hard to compare that. I just like that, like, a lot of times you look at winners and you go, oh, you did better than you.
Well, I mean, when Chad won last year, and I don't think Chad's a bad dude, I think he's a fine dude.
He's a fine guy.
I didn't want him to win.
No, because it was just meh.
But then again, I looked at last year's fucking final 3, and I'm like, I don't want any of you to win.
Where the fuck was, Kieran or Angela?
This year, it's like, I would have been, I was always happy for Marley to win.
Yes.
If Marley hadn't have been in the final 3, I would have been happy for Christina to win. Yeah,
true. Or like Tilly or Danny.
Or Tilly or Danny or Adriana.
Fuck off. I don't want to be rude to contestants, but fuck off.
Yeah, no, she was an intruder, man.
Yeah, intruding on our fun. Basically, I want to say this about Marley, though. What?
That's the nastiest thing you've ever said on this show about a housemate. I know who won't be coming on the podcast. Hey, we got to hit up some of the housemates, see if they want to come
We
on.
better. We've also got to upload the recording we've already made.
Jesus fucking Christ, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Well, now that the season's done, we can put it up.
That was the thing. I was like, let's start
I'll message her.
pumping these out. Yeah, we got an interview with Charlotte coming still.
Yeah. Who? No, let's talk about that later. But one last thing I want to say about Marley is that yes, he was a deserving winner. 2 areas of his game he needs to tighten up. That if you go back is getting his allies evicted. He nominated Mary, and that was a bad move. And he also nominated
Yeah,
Katie.
what was that? Oh, but that was a safe vote.
It doesn't matter. You don't put your allies up as a safe
Nah,
vote.
it was a safe vote.
No, no.
It's a safe vote that went home.
If we get Marley on the pod, I'm telling him I'm going to slam him.
Well, he'll fucking understand.
Well,
I'm sure he's aware now.
He'll understand that if he comes back for Big Brother All Stars, not to put your allies up as a safe vote.
But can you in hindsight
Yes, you can.
say anything was a bad move when he won?
Yes,
Okay.
because he got lucky in the end. And I think
You're saying this was luck?
Okay,
You want to pin Marley's victory down to luck? Say that to his father. He'd kill you.
He would. Did you see the hug that he gave him? He would throw me off the stage. He would have.
Dude, I got a gag.
Yeah, sure. Am I going to be able to pull it off?
No, it's something that involves you and Marley's dad sumo wrestling. That's more of a physical thing. You can't really do it on the podcast, and we don't have Marley's dad here.
Okay, so first we need to invite Marley on the pod, and then we need to do a separate pod with Marley's dad, or together.
Yeah.
And then we need a sumo race.
Yeah, and the ring, dude. This room is the perfect size for us.
We'll do it in another
sumo
venue.
fight. Yeah.
Look, no, yeah, he still won, so it's no criticism. But I would just say that he could have lost the game if things went differently, because he started evicting people that he was aligned with, Katie and Mary.
Speaking of venues for sumo wrestling, just real quick.
Sure, we're gonna wrap this
the
up.
stage and the set. No, we don't. Speaking of the stage, shut up. And the stage and the set for last night's episode. How depressing was that? Seeing that as soon as they started that show, I was immediately just like, oh, they had plans for such a big crowd. Like, dude, it would have been so good to have an OG Big Brother audience going nuts.
The fact that like last year's was a tiny crowd, and then this year they had 0. Like they couldn't even get 100 people in there this year.
Sucked. Not even. There was no family. There wasn't even really family.
It was the family of the final 3.
Yeah, family.
Which is good. I also wonder, if we speak to Marley or Christina, if we do, I mean, I could just
We got to speak to Marley, Christina, and we got to speak to. I don't know. We'll hit SJ up, but we also.
We're not speaking to us.
You don't want to speak to SJ, but you know who we got to speak to? Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly. Tilly's
Dude.
number 1 on my list.
We won't get the chance because you said she's in Sydney, isn't she? She's in Sydney.
Yeah, she's a Sydney sider.
Right. I want to do that podcast in person. I seriously want to do that podcast in person.
How are we going to do that podcast in person?
We're flying her down.
We're not flying her down. We're not doing any podcast in person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, we're doing a podcast.
That's fair enough. Hey, Tilly's great. I was going somewhere now I've totally forgotten. And it wasn't about sumo wrestling. About the crowd. Yeah, it was depressing.
Yeah, it sucked.
No, what I was going to say was I wonder how early Marley and Christina, because they're both from Melbourne, how early they would have had to fly up to get out of the kind of, what do you call it, safe zone or into the safe zone?
Red zone or
red
safe zone? Yes,
well, they
there's
basically,
a safe zone and there's red
they
zone.
left the safe zone to go into a red zone. Do they have to quarantine on the way back? Who knows?
Yeah.
We are the United States of Australia. And Sonny Kruger.
Wait, we have a United States of Australia?
And Sonny Kruger is our Donald Trump.
Ah, fuck!
Do you have ads on Spotify?
Do that line about the Donald Trump thing again.
And Sonny Kruger is the Donald Trump of Australia. Oh, was that the laugh track on the show last night? I'm so confused what that was. Yeah, it was.
What the fuck?
There was like one person in the crew who was like,
So it's like, if you're gonna do fake crowd sounds, not only was it the worst, like
did they give up on it eventually?
the worst executed crowd sounds of all time, but it's like, if you're gonna commit to having fake crowd sounds, be consistent.
Yep.
Like, don't fucking like do one gag where you've got fake laughter and then the next gag just forget to do the fake laughter. It made the whole thing very awkward.
They were not ready for it.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were doing. I think they dropped it halfway through. I think people were like, they literally dropped all sound of fakeness all through.
It was like also sometimes when it was like, okay, maybe this crowd, this laughter isn't working.
Yeah.
This laughter isn't really working. So you know what they did after that?
They brought in a new sound. They like switch it up, get a new sound in. It was a mess, and I get that they had to play. I get that they had to pull this together at very last minute. But we're living in this COVID world. You should be used to it. Should be ready for anything. Anything can happen.
They did something even worse.
Which is...
Which when they pulled out on the angle they pulled out on the idea, they backtracked on the idea of doing fake crowd sound effects. And they're like, oh, this isn't really working too well. They started doing this.
Is this Titanic?
You don't remember this?
What the fuck is this from?
During some of like the one-on-one Sonya interviews with like SJ and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like instead of doing background crowd noises, they had SJ telling her story of her time in the house and how things went with... Yeah, they just had like really soft, emotional, like inspiring music playing of SJ really just taking her story home one more time.
There's been other shows in the last year that have done like finales with no crowds or events, and it lacked.
The AFL executed it quite well, though.
Okay, but you can't compare AFL and Big Brother. I would compare like RuPaul's Drag Race did a no crowd finale, and it did not feel like empty because anytime there was like kind of like no crowd, they didn't do fake crowd noises. They just like pumped music up.
You know who did it very well throughout the pandemic?
Whom?
Was like some of the sports in America, like particularly all the sports entertainment such
NBA.
as professional wrestling, like WWE and AEW.
Yep. I didn't know there was another wrestling.
Well, they had that's the up and coming wrestling promotion at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still going with it? And we were meant to feel that emotion with SJ's journey.
Yeah. And we didn't.
Okay.
Because when I heard like SJ's journey, like when I was hearing SJ's journey, all I was fucking thinking...
Retirement Village?
The fucking ads!
Were the ads too much for you? Oh no, the ads on your phone.
Because when I was hearing SJ's fucking story, I was thinking...
Did you pick up that I think even in one of her daughters was like, oh, not just the fact that she was old, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think her daughter was even trying to say that, like, oh, it's not just about the fact that she's old.
Give that up. Yeah. And Danny did as well.
And yeah, Danny was kind of like, yeah, just great.
No, but the daughter that was saying that,
yeah,
the daughter that was saying that was also going grey herself. So she's worried that she's going to be considered as that and only a few times.
I did notice that. I was like, oh, she's not quite young.
Because I was watching the finale with my family because I was with them. I had a birthday dinner and then came back here. We watched it on 7+ immediately.
Adorable.
And
they noticed that too.
And we all said, oh, she's going grey. Yeah, you're not the one to say don't think about age when you're going grey yourself. Just give it a few years and fuck.
Honestly, this podcast is more enjoyable than the finale.
Dude, this podcast has been so much better than the finale. And dude, if any, not to brag, but I don't think there's a single person, one of the fucking 600,000-700,000 people that was watching last night. Yeah. My estimate's going to be 700,000 to 800,000 people rating last night.
For the finale, for the winner announcement, it was like 700,000.
Really?
Yeah, for the
night before, the second last night, the Monday did fucking 668,000.
Yeah, so it was only a tiny bit of a bump.
Yeah.
But I'm sure everyone would have said that finale was shit.
No, what I was going to say was... Yeah. All those fucking 700,000-800,000 people would rather listen to the podcast.
And I wish they did.
I wish they did. I wish it was that.
Are we going to be like getting a gig with Charles 7 soon? When's the call up? Mike Goldman got shafted, but when is it our turn?
Dude, if Mike Goldman got shafted, where are our fucking...
They've got no hope.
Where are we?
Yeah.
Where do we stand with Channel 7?
We can't even do improv properly. Yes, and...
Dude, no, it's... What the fuck is it?
It is yes and.
It's yes and.
If someone... It's like, never answer with just yes.
But it's like, what's the storytelling method is like, that they use on South Park and shit.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen improv?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of improv.
I went to improv once and in New York and I said, oh, I should go in Melbourne. And I've never been in Melbourne since.
It's... But therefore... Oh. That's like what a lot of like I know like South Park uses that, and like and South Park wise, like cartoon wise and more like long standing cartoons, like the greatest cartoon there is probably. Oh. It's like I think they use the formula of but and therefore. back and forth. But therefore,
So the listeners or the viewers know.
That's just their structure, the structure of storytelling, and it works fantastically.
But therefore, this podcast has been great. Did I pull it off?
Exactly.
Did I pull it off?
Exactly.
Also, I just love that the people who are going to be watching the video of this will just see you change or add to your costume halfway through.
Well, I hope fucking Katie watches this. Caitlin watches this fucking podcast.
For a second, I thought you meant Katie from the show, and I was like, can you imagine Katie caring about what you're wearing? Like your friend Katie.
I care about. Well, you know what I didn't care for was what Katie was wearing last night. Not a fan of that dress.
Not a fan. Hey, well, it's a big moment. Maybe they're going all out.
You know what I was a fan of, though, was what Marley was wearing. His dad made that fucking corduroy, that whole corduroy yellow thing, and I don't know if he made the cardigan underneath. I think he said he made that, but I don't think it was corduroy. I think it was like a cardigan. No, not a cardigan, like a turtleneck underneath. And holy shit, it looked sick. And he had some, what were the Air Jordans he had on? I knew the Air Jordans he had on, but they were cool, yeah.
Air Jordan 3.
They were?
No, I'm just making that up.
Oh, cool.
Because the older they are, the more vintage they kind of feel.
The more vintage they become.
Sad for the people who were just on the 9 camera screens. Oh no! What is it? Meant to be a 5-hour podcast?
How long are we going?
Well, it's hard to tell, but you'll be able
58 minutes, yeah.
You'll be able to snip a bit out of that. Because it's like there was like in terms of like there was like a minute gap there, it'll come down. We're about to wrap it up. I feel like I was gonna be like, if there's nothing you got to show for the podcast, say it soon.
You were gonna do that?
No, I was basically saying like, forever hold your peace if you don't get it out in the next couple of minutes.
Me hold my peace.
Yeah.
All right.
I was saying we were talking about their outfits. No, I was saying it's a shame for the people who couldn't be there. That some of them were very dressed up to be on Zoom for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, dude. I mean, who didn't get a fucking word in? You know who didn't get a word in that I was disappointed with?
Our pal.
Who? No, I was going to say Sid.
Yeah, Sid. Well, the show's going to do more with editing next year. I had a tweet come through from a former tennis player.
Wait. I thought you were going to say something about, like, reference your own tweet. I had this, you know what I had was this great tweet that I put out the other night that...
No, last night I said, like, great season, good to wrap it up.
People are all talking
Marley,
about my
winner,
tweets.
and a former tennis player for Australia tweeted me and says, respectfully disagree.
He said that?
Yeah, and he said...
What did he say?
The editing still isn't great where it only shows some people and not others. And I kind of was like, yeah, you've got a fair point.
Was it Leighton Hewitt?
No, it wasn't.
Who? Okay.
I mean, I don't think he was like, world circuit type.
Okay. All right, sure.
You're still a tennis player. You're still probably...
Okay. Was it Nick Wilson?
His name is Dale Sutherland.
Yeah. I went to school with him.
Really?
No, I went to school with Nick Wilson. He never made the world circuit either.
How far did Nick Wilson go?
Oh no, he got injured a year after he left my school.
If I looked him up, would anything pop up?
None, definitely not.
Sweet. No, sweet.
I don't even think he'd have a Twitter.
Let's move on then.
He's dead for all I know.
So Dale Sutherland, who tweeted us and maybe listens to the show. Good, thanks for listening.
Does ring a bell.
Yeah, I'm sure if you Googled him, it'd pop up.
I'm thinking Daryl Summers. Yeah, okay. Definitely didn't play tennis.
Well, fuck him. Yeah. He used to work with Sonia, and they are, two peas in a pod.
Oh, you fucking hate Sonia because of the refugee thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And Daryl loves a good blackface.
Yeah.
And I don't hate
Did Daryl blackface?
No.
Can Daryl pull the card of it was of the time?
No, that's what he tried to do.
He did?
In 2009.
Okay. And it didn't work then? Didn't work now?
No.
Okay.
Well, look, I think the thing is...
You know what? I'm going to let him get away with it in 2009, but not in 2021.
Well, Harry Connick Jr. was not happy.
Who?
Harry Connick Jr. Fuck. Is this a Hey Hey It's That Day podcast?
Who's Harry Connick Jr.?
YouTube it. We're not getting into it.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it up.
No.
You really want this to go further?
Is that the guy who was behind the puppet? Behind the bird?
No. Harry Connick Jr. was a guest on that show, and he was judging Red's Faces, and Red's Faces was almost like a mini Australia's Got Talent time, right? Where people would come on to perform things.
Oh, Red Faces, yeah.
Red Faces.
Yeah, we did Red Faces at school camp.
Sweet. I'm sure you did Blackface too.
Yeah, that was my Red Faces act, yeah.
You just came out with what? This is... we should
and
not
my headmaster, who was not only very racist, but also gay, a headmaster.
Oh, they're the worst types. So it's like, you're racist and gay? It's like, oh, being gay is great, but being racist is terrible.
Well, it's like the fucking, you know what the weirdest one is the fucking, the Caitlyn Jenner?
Yes.
The Caitlyn Jenner, like, here's my thing.
Sure.
I heard these people being like, you're not allowed to be a member of the LGBTQ community and be a Republican. And I was like, okay, that's weird. It's like, that makes it seem like, okay, there's rules to this club. If you want to be gay, you got to abide by these rules. You know what I mean? And I disagree with that.
Sure.
But what I saw, it's like, if you're a Republican, if you lean Republican or lean right and you're and you're gay, like whatever.
Right.
The thing that I think's weird is someone who's who's transgender.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
But is also like at the same time, preaching acceptance for everyone and preaching, hey, I want you to, accept me into your culture and your lives.
As I am.
Yeah, as I am as a woman.
Yes.
Cool. Then it's weird that you come out and say, I'm not going to do the voice.
Don't do the voice. Unless you're going to really pull it off well.
No, I can't pull it off well because I've never tried it before.
Fair enough.
I think I tried to do an Arnie before and I'd never tried to do an Arnie before.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Which was, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a bit of a traditionalist and I just don't, I don't think gays should be getting married because I'm a traditionalist. It's like, you are the last person that can pull the I'm a traditionalist card.
And that's the thing. I don't think
it doesn't make sense.
I think you can, when you mention Republican, I think you can still be a Republican. But if you have those beliefs, then it's almost going against what people in the community are suffering from. So
there's definitely just contradictions of lifestyle and ideology.
It's strange.
So fucking weird.
Yeah. How'd we get there? Oh, because it's my fault because I mentioned Daryl Summers, and we mentioned Dale Sutherland.
Because Dale Sutherland sounded like, oh my god, because Dale Sutherland sounded like Daryl Summers. Dale Sutherland tweeted you about Big Brother.
If he never tweeted us, we never would have spoken about Caitlyn Jenner, because I wouldn't have then brought up Dale Sutherland, who led to Daryl Summers, who led to Caitlyn Jenner. Let's get back on track. Yeah, they could edit the show better next year with more character. I want more character moments. Regardless of that, they did fine. It's been a great show. Let's wrap the fucking shit up.
Oh man, I was having so much fun. I would
so
happily
sorry.
go all night. I'd happily go all night, dude. For real.
I feel bad for your mum who's trapped in one half of the house.
No, they're gone, dude.
Oh, did she leave?
They left ages ago. Yeah.
Well, what about John?
Who's John?
Are we not going to be saying their names on the podcast?
No, they hate it. No. I don't.
Did you enjoy the season?
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? I'm
Are you okay? Now you're getting all emotional because I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, all good things must come to an end, and that's Nelly Furtado.
I was listening to, not Nelly Furtado, I was listening to Khalees.
Yeah.
My milkshake brings the voice of the garden.
But Nelly Furtado would be better. Can you listen to her instead?
Yeah.
She had some good songs there in 2006.
Yeah, no, me and my brother got that fucking album at an op shop in Cranbourne.
I think it's called Loose.
The 2006 one?
Yep. I think it's a red
Loose,
cover.
The expanded edition. And dude, holy fuck, Maneater, Promiscuous,
oh, yeah.
Glow, Promiscuous the Interlude, Showtime.
I really liked her back when I was in primary school.
So many good tracks on this fucking album, man. Such a good glam pop album, and it's such a good bubblegum pop album.
I was gonna say, just pure pop. That Maneater was just rolling. You're really sad there where I try to wrap it up. Are you okay?
I've been sad all week.
Oh, maybe you can check in with Danny and kind of help each other.
No, I'm checking in with other people.
Sweet.
I'm not psychiatrist wise, just other people. You know what I mean? I've got friends who talk to me, unlike you, who'd never reach. No, you've reached out in the past. You always reach out. I appreciate it. But you said one thing one time that fucking didn't land well with me.
Oh, really? What was it? I'm so sorry. Do you want to go over this right now?
It's funny, dude. It's funny.
Oh, I'm so nervous now.
No, it's just it was good. It was so well intentioned, but at the time, I was just so far from being in the headspace for even a joke. You know what I mean? So that's on me.
What was the joke?
I was so depressed, and the message I got from you, no, it wasn't I took it bad. I was just fuck. It was more me being I wish I was in the headspace for a joke. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm glad you are now.
Because I was so depressed.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you sure?
Look at me.
I think it's important if we ask people if they're okay, not on Are You Okay Day.
Yeah,
so all the other days.
Yeah, sure.
It's almost I don't ask anyone how they're doing on that day. I make sure I do it on All the other days.
All the other days, yeah.
Are you okay?
I make sure to make a point of it not to ask on Are You Okay Day and ask every other day.
Yeah, I'm very anti-establishment like that.
It's like fucking International Women's Day. It's like you think it's like I'm gonna make a day of listening to only my favorite male albums and watching my favorite.
But the rest of the year,
male
it's
movies.
Women's first.
The rest of the year,
Yeah, I love Ellen.
What?
Ellen, the talk show. You said listen to women.
I thought you were meaning Ellen.
Ellen.
Really?
Ellen,
You're gonna
Ellen.
fucking really throw it to Ellen now? Who, by the way, I'm fine with Ellen.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Mostly.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the joke, or is it too dark for the
No,
audio?
it's not even a dark joke.
What did I say then?
It was about water. It was playing on the fact that what's shitty advice for people with depression, and it's like, hey dude, drink water.
Oh.
And your gag was like, you know what they say, drink water, drink plenty of water. And I was just like, oh, fuck, And when I'm depressed, it's like, I get it. And it's like, I get that advice is stupid because it's like, how much fucking water am I going to have to drink before the depression lifts? You know what I mean? How many times will I have to go for a walk in the park before the depression lifts? And it's like,
just go for a walk.
It's not just one walk in the park. You know what I mean? So it's like, while I get the play on the fact of it's stupid when people say that, at the time I was just like, fuck, I wish I was in the mood for not only a joke, but in the mood to enjoy water. I can't even enjoy something as simple as having a sippy cup.
I don't think it's about enjoying it. It's about getting the enough water in there to be at a healthy level.
Yeah.
I don't think they're saying if you drink a cup of water you will enjoy it. I think they're saying that hey, are you dehydrated, affecting your moods?
Yeah, no, but it's the thing is being I'm fucking clinically depressed, I'm fucking severely depressed, and then being well, are you sure you haven't done this?
But that's what I was playing when I was
exactly.
playing.
That's why it makes sense, and that's why there's no offense taken, dude.
I'm sure before that I would have been are you okay? And you would have probably been struggling but getting through it.
I would have been offended if you had have messaged me being snap out of it. We got to do the podcast. We got to do the podcast. And I would have been I know, I want to do the podcast, but I can't.
How long ago was this? Was this a couple of years ago, or was this in the recent times?
This was over Christmas or something. Was it over Christmas?
Why would it be over Christmas? That doesn't even make sense.
No, over the holiday season. A bit before the holidays.
But we wouldn't have been even really recording, I don't think.
No, man.
You're just making it up. But I probably
it's all bullshit. You didn't do anything wrong.
No, I think I remember.
Believe Jayden.
I think I actually remember saying that. Just I don't think it would have been over Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it might have been. I might have been just checking in on you.
Oh
regardless.
my god, what are you, my granddad? Need to making sure the timeline of unimportant shit is correct. What the fuck? I'm an Eskimo now. I'm a fucking Eskimo.
Okay, is this ending? I'm sure.
I'm Caitlin
if you're
Cameron,
listening
and I'm an
this
Eskimo.
long, yeah, because I feel like that's something Caitlyn Jenner would wear.
No, Caitlin Cameron, who's my friend.
Sorry.
But this is so this is really Caitlyn Jenner, isn't it?
Also, there was a Paul.
Not
Simon,
Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah.
There was a Paul Simon album where he wore something similar, so it's reminding me of that.
Okay.
And Paul Simon's a pretty cool guy, but you're much taller.
Oh, thanks.
No worries.
You guess how tall I am?
6 foot.
Yeah, no, 5'11", man.
Isn't that just close?
No, but they say the thing of it's a world of difference between 5'11" and 6 foot. And it's I've literally had the thing of the body shaming thing. It's don't body shame. It's girls say don't body shame because I'm a little bit big.
But then
the response is, well, yeah, the thing is I've literally had girls on Tinder be hey, how tall are you?
Are you for real?
And then I go 6 foot, and they go, I think you're lying. And then I go, no, I'm fully fucking serious.
Yeah.
And then they do a bit of digging, and then when they find out that I'm 5'11", never hear from them again. So that's it. It's body shaming. And the thing is, I'm not going to get into the fat shaming thing. But fuck you, James Corden. Fuck you.
I feel like that's going to be saved for another time. I'm going to bring it up another time and be what was that about James Corden again?
Nah, dude, James Corden's cool, but it's don't make the fat shaming argument and then also become an advocate for Weight Watchers a year later. You know what I mean?
Wait, was he fat shaming?
No, he got into this big thing with Bill Maher about he was defending
people making fun.
James Corden was saying don't fat shame.
Yeah, sure, which you shouldn't. But then he joined his Weight Watchers.
All Bill Maher was saying, Bill Maher was essentially saying, hey, it's okay that we should be encouraging people to lose weight, if they are unhealthy. And James Corden saying, no, I should be able to eat fucking as much ice cream as I want. And when I heard that, I cried and ate a bunch of ice cream, and that's why I'm fat. And I should be able to do that. But then like less than a year later, he comes out like, and he's the advocate for
Yes.
Weight Watchers.
He recently
he's the new
joined.
face of Weight Watchers or something like that, and he's doing ads for Weight Watchers because he's saying, "Oh, I realize I want to be able to play with my kids," and it's like, "Oh, okay, you are now inherently fat shaming."
There's a lot to break down there, and I don't have the time for it.
And Adele, we love you, Adele.
That's once again, it's very interesting with Adele.
Yeah, it's interesting with Adele, and I think that comes down to, and you as someone who's a bit bigger can probably agree with this.
I was about to say, like, I'm afraid of that. If let's say I lost 30 kilos, I wouldn't want to deal with people's bullshit of telling me how great I look.
Oh, that.
I wouldn't want to deal with it. I'd be like, can you just fuck off right now?
No, but the thing.
Don't tell me how great I
but
look.
the thing of like people saying to Adele, "Hey, fuck you. You losing weight and getting healthier is a bad thing because you're implying it's bad to be fat."
It's not. It's good to be healthy.
Yeah.
I wish I was healthy, and I'm going to strive towards it.
Sure.
But
Good for you.
I'm not like I'm not. I wouldn't be doing it just to look. I don't care how I look.
Yeah, no, sure. It's about you and it's about feeling good.
Yes,
and shit. Yeah.
it's not about like, oh, now I look good. And I hope that that's also for Adele. I hope she did it for better health. And that sounds like James Corden. I hope that like
they're doing it for good reasons.
I hope that Adele.
Obviously, they're doing it for good
I
reasons.
hope Adele wasn't like, oh, if I do this, it'll sell some more albums. She doesn't need to do that.
No, but don't shame people for losing weight
No.
because they are just doing it to look better and feel better about themselves, which they may well.
Yeah.
She may well go on to live a happier, healthier life, you know?
Yeah.
Because she's lost a lot of weight. And
Ideally, we would all be healthy.
sure, ideally we would all be healthy.
Is Lizzo going to lose weight next?
I don't want to get into the Lizzo thing.
Fair enough. We are wrapping it up.
Wait, hang on. There
wrapping
was
it
one
up.
more thing I wanted to say.
Sure. After all this, now is it mentioning about fat shaming or about Big Brother?
I don't know.
Well, we've had an hour.
It was about, oh, dude, we should get on to Kyle Sandilands and his weight.
Shut
And
up.
how many cigarettes he's smoking and how many donuts he's eating.
Donuts are great. I love donuts.
Donuts are fucking great, man. Yeah.
Can't go. People love to do fancy donuts these days, but there's nothing wrong with just like going to Donut King, asking for like a 6-pack of cinnamon, and then they make it fresh for you, and it's all hot, and then you go to eat it. You're like, oh, it's too hot. So then you jump into the car and then drive 5 minutes home. Then you have the donuts, and they're still hot, and it's so good.
The home of the cinnamon Donut King. It's back. It's back at Rosebud.
Oh, nice.
It's shut down. Daniel's Donuts replaced it for a bit.
Is Daniel's leaving?
Daniel's was. It turns out Daniel's was only a pop up.
Really?
Yeah, they just did a pop up for like you don't do a 2-year long pop up.
That's not a pop-up.
That's not a pop up, dude.
Oh, my pop will be so disappointed. My pop loves Daniel's Donuts.
No.
And he lives close by.
Yeah.
Okay, we're wrapping it up. If you've listened to the podcast this season, if you've sent us any love, if you've just enjoyed what we've done, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Tell your friends about us.
For real.
It's been so enjoyable. Honestly, if nobody was listening, we wouldn't still be doing it, would we?
Yeah, we would.
Oh, we'd still be doing it.
Dude,
just
we were doing it when we were talking about a show that was 20 years old and no one was listening.
No, but
it doesn't change
around-
the fact that when we were like doing it on the 2001 season,
yeah.
we appreciated the 4 listeners that we had.
We did. Yeah. So we appreciated them. We appreciate everyone. It's been so fun. This year we haven't been really interrupted like last year. We kind of got depressed towards the end of last year because of COVID, but that's another story.
Totally.
It's been great. I can't wait for Big Brother VIP. We're gonna get to do this again this year.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Again this year, exactly. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
There's rumors that it's going to air around September.
Oh, fantastic,
Because
man.
they haven't started filming yet.
Oh my god, my life is going to be fucking what my life is going to look like between now and then.
Okay, I hope it's going to be okay.
It's just like it could go one of many ways.
I hope it goes in a good direction.
Me too, man. Me too.
Okay, I think that's it. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Channel 7, if you're listening, hit me up for some suggestions to make the show better. I do that every time.
Refer to the blog post from last year.
Well, some things I kind of addressed and some things I haven't. Ben, is there any final words for the season?
No, you did it really good.
Danny was this season's MVP.
Danny was the season's MVP, and shout out to Marley for winning, though.
Yes, shout out. Yeah, but Marley walked away with all the cash.
All the cash, yeah.
Last year,
which
Kieran-
Danny had already.
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, you think he's like a Trump?
Anyone who talks about all the money they have sometimes doesn't have it. All right, well, let's wrap it up. Are you okay with wrapping? Oh, are we okay? I feel like we took it in a lot of directions there.
Took it in so many directions, and
Now
it
I
was
just
like
wanna
50-50 Big Brother, but it's cool.
I just want to double check. Are you okay?
Yeah, totally, dude.
Sweet.
You?
All right.
You okay?
I'm good.
Awesome.
I need to
Awesome.
stand up though, because I've been sitting down for so long.
My legs are hurting and I shouldn't be crossing them.
And you need to take the jacket off because you're very constricted. You need a bigger. You should just buy a bigger version.
A
of that.
guy's version of this jacket.
Well, once again, are jackets gendered? I'm not sure.
Look at
Just
me
get a bigger
challenging
size.
gender norms
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
know.
podcast.
I'm always challenging gender norms every day.
What are you doing?
Well, what I'm wearing doesn't really challenge it, but in my mind.
I was gonna say, look at you right now, jeans and a shirt.
Okay, you can challenge gender norms without wearing femme clothing while presenting mask.
Didn't we already wrap up this podcast?
It's finished. The podcast is done. See you for Big Brother VIP and see you for the interviews that we might or might not do.
Love you guys.
Bye.